Hello guys, my name is Nine and welcome back to another base building video. Today we're going to be building the Ghost. It's a fairly simple base design that originates from a 2x1. You can obviously change up the core however you'd like it, but what I'll be showing you here today is my version of it. From the outside, it is the exact same cost as the average 2x2 shell with some basic wide gaps, but in my opinion it's got much better defendability as it's got a nice open core. It's got amazing breach turrets, and its shooting floor and all of its battlements are just very nice. So, starting from the outside, we have external disconnectables. There are 4 of these, they're all the exact same, and disconnect, all you do is place a roof right here, and as you see, it opens up, and replacing this and re-upgrading it, you'll be good. These are our externals. There's 4 of these. They're all extraordinarily cheap as this is a single TC base. So you're going to expect 4 externals just like this. They'll be a little different in cost, but nothing crazy. Okay, moving into our gatehouse design, we'll come up here. You'll see that we have little windows covering our outside, and then we have a little ramp peak that's very nice for peeking into the compound. It's a head glitch. Even though head glitches aren't around anymore, you can still shoulder peek pretty hard here. This is also a nice spot for a box, just for an extra gun or something like that. Alright, coming out the exit of the gatehouse, you'll see that we have a turret on top of it overlooking. And this is our what will be our 4 compound turrets. You can kind of see our wide gap shooting floor here as we got really nice angles everywhere in the compound. It's a full 360. Alright, so there are 4 entrances into the base, 2 on these sides, so on these little like triangle sides. You have what are just going to be bedrooms and lockers going all the way up to shooting floor. This is just rotation from the compound. It's really nice to have this as you don't want to be running through your main door every time. You want to have other ways to get up, around, and out of your base. Okay? So we obviously have room for large furnaces, whatever you want in this compound. Alrighty, so here is the other kind of entrance. So there are 2 entrances that actually go into the base. This side is going to just lead up and around to our open core, so I'll give you a little sneak peek of that. Like so, and have a bedroom behind here, like so. But if we come around, back up and around to the other side of the base, this will be our actual entrance into core. So as you see, there's 2 different sides. So this side looks a lot different because before we had the armored wall, but now we have drop boxes to our right. Close that door. Coming in, some furnaces to our right, these vending machines here, good use of space. 2 nice big loot rooms with tons of loot space for your starter. Obviously now you have access to your vending machines, tier 2 or tier 3, whatever you want to put down here, more furnaces, and finally our TC. Obviously, TC is looking sort of expensive. However, just be aware, this is literally everything upgraded to its final form. Everything is done, every door is added, everything possible, every turret, every little thing. You're going to get a day on this TC and you'll be fine. It's better than the 2x2 that you're going to get like 16 hours on. So we're okay. Alright, coming back over here, so on both those sides we had these jump ups that went to the higher level, our open core to the left, and our bedroom up here. This is just a nice little bedroom, but coming up here we have 2 drop boxes, and then finally we come up to our open core. Now you can kind of see the turrets that I was talking about. You have 4 turrets like this, all peeking in. They're breach turrets, they're amazing, and if you haven't seen them before, try to incorporate them into your designs. As you can see here, we have a nice open core with just tons of boxes. Very nice. Easy to access every box, just nice, comfortable, and good quality of life everywhere. Obviously, tons of bags in the middle. You can do whatever you want with this extra deployable space, like so. Alrighty, jumping up another level. These rotations are just right on top of each other. It's pretty easy. We have another way to our shooting floor up here through our ramp, so I'll give you a peek at this. Nice and easy. We also have a locker here for quick rekitting. You can put bags here, it's always nice. And we also have another way up. We keep going up and we reach our bed floor and core peaks. So these ramp peaks are our core peaks, obviously. They give good angles onto every little angle. And just this entire room has just tons of space for, obviously, as you see, lockers, tons of beds, and these turrets become dual function. They're not just core peak turrets, they're also holding our entire bedroom floor. As you can see, there isn't amazing blind spots. It's just a well-oiled floor. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Alright, so coming out to here, we have our other way up to our shooting floor. As you see, the first entrance that we did, the bedroom and locker area, has a little ramp that leads up. As you can see, there are nice peaks on these little ramps. It's a little unexpected to be at a spot like this. And jumping up here, coming back a little bit, we have our way up to roof. There's 2 of these, obviously. It's mirrored on every side. You can kind of get a sneak peek of roof as you see some of the turrets. We have 2 that are actually covered and 2 are just in the open. And you can see that we have roof peaks here. Very nice. Coming back down and back to our shooting floor, you'll see that we have obviously very nice angles just to peek around and out and all that. Jumping over here, you'll see we have our roof peaks. We have a full 360 on our roof. There isn't really a good blind spot for people to hide behind. You're usually going to have a way to do it, and even if they do have a way to see you, you're going to have the upper hand. Yep, coming back up and through here, you see this is another route just back through there. And finally, the last real thing to show off here is from that jump up before, you also still have access through these double doors. And by leaving these double doors open, this actually creates a little airlock right here that you can't get through. So just a little thing to note, if you want to lock someone's area off, just by doing these little doors and little things like that, you can entirely lock off an area. Alrighty, so at this point, there is not much more to show or say about the base. We're going to go into a little info area where I'm going to show the cost, the upkeep, and give you guys a little advertisement for the Discord in there. So without further ado, we're going to jump into that. Alrighty guys, so before we start today's video, I'm inviting you to join my Discord. Here you can see the giveaway that we're doing in our Discord right now. It's nothing crazy, but if you want a chance at winning it, jump on in. Links in the description, and I hope to see you there. Also, you can ask me any kind of questions you may have in that Discord. You got a building question? I'm more than happy to help. Alrighty, now that we're done with that, here is the current cost of the base. Now, be aware this covers literally everything, and it's not as bad as you really think. And right after here, now we have our upkeep of the base. So, same thing, it's not too bad. Just remember, it's a single TC base. It will be a little expensive, but in comparison to a lot of these other bases going around right now, I think it's pretty good. All right, let's get into the build, guys. I'll see you there. Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be building the Ghost, and to simply put it, this is actually coming from a 2x1. So, starting off with a little bit of a 2x1 core, you can obviously make this entire core into whatever you want based on your group size. If you're a smaller group, you might want to make this thing smaller, obviously, and not really use the entire thing. However, if you're a larger group, maybe you use it like how I do. So, starting off, this is the entire footprint that we're going to be using for the inner core. Obviously, you can section this off, use these pieces as honeycomb, turn it into just a 2x2 honeycomb, and change the entrances around and all that if you wish. However, this is how we're going to be doing it, just because this is the way I like it. So, coming over to one of our sides here, we're going to place a little room for our TC compartment. Obviously, this base can easily start as a 1x1, and my TC didn't place. It's okay. So, coming in like this, we can now wall in the next portion. I like to put a window here because this will be one of where our vending machines will go, and just continuing on like so. And if you want to finish this here, boom, boom, and this will be our entrance to the second level. Alrighty. Walling this entire thing off, we'll show you what it looks like from the inside. Obviously, this is the other side. You can technically place a window and a jump up here early. However, it's not going to matter too much. We'll get to that later. Just like that. And tune it off. So this is the larger group version, I would call this core, because this is more attuned to just a long door path, something easy to work with. That's about it. When you are placing these ramps, if you remember, we're going to be placing ramps above these if you didn't see those for the open core. So make sure you might have to remove boxes here. So if you place them here, you might have to remove them to be able to place the ramp above. This wall, one we're actually going to wall in. This is our furnace spot here, so I'll throw these down really quickly. Show this off. Coming around here, we can fit 2 vending machines, but we'll do that in a second. Continuing with our door frames, we have another section for furnaces, or a locker, or a vending machine, whatever you have it. Wall this in. Okay. Now I'm going to show off. Obviously we have our TC loot room. You can come from the outside if you didn't place that triangle already. Place it like that. Come in here. These two will become some nice loot rooms. Just by doing that. And that. Alrighty. This is the entire starter of the base for when you're building it with a larger group. If you're building a trio, you can take this footprint that you see here, the squares and all that, and turn it into something different if you prefer. But obviously, this is what we're going to be doing for the video. So, coming on through here, and coming outside. So we're going to finish this little area, which is just adding more visibility to our entrance, and we'll seal this off. And at this point, everything we'll be doing will actually be symmetry. So I'm going to toggle on some symmetry here to make this easier on me. Alrighty, so triangles off the squares for honeycomb. You can square triangle and triangle again. I'm going to upgrade these foundations to sheet metal, as those are actually going to be sheet metal honeycomb. Obviously, you don't have to do that right away, but it's going to be very nice if you can do that. The wall in this section, these are our bedroom jump ups that lead to a little bit of our wide gap. So coming like this. So as you can see, the base is mirroring itself on the other side. So whatever I've done on one side, you just want to do the exact same thing on the other. And I'll make sure you go a little slow to give you a little more time. Alrighty. So from our core jump up, we are going to place walls like this. We're going to rotate this wall actually into the loot room and seal this off like this. Coming over here to seal off what will be our bedroom. And now coming around and building these loot rooms too high. And this is our jump up, so we just want to boop, boop, seal it off. So now you can see this is the kind of area we're working with. They got really big really quickly, so just gotta keep working with it. Alrighty. We're gonna want to place half walls facing, it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna place them in on here. And then we'll place some more half walls like this. Find me one half wall in the middle, and you cap this off like this. You can put ramps above here if they work. However, if you want more boxes, you can just leave it however. It's up to you. Okay, coming up into the open core now. We're going to place a backwards window like this. Make sure to get some sort of embrasure or something on it early game. If you can just put wood window bars in there, it's good enough for now. Okay, coming here, we can place our shelving units, followed by our door frames. Allow us to place these squares right there. And we'll come back to our rotation. Add another window. Actually, we are not going to add a window here. We are going to simply wall this in. This is where a locker will go. We're going to continue to wall this in. So, I'll show you how to place this locker real quick, as it is very useful to know. And then obviously we're adding a jump up to the next level, because they're just stacked. Okay, there you go. That's where our locker will go. Pretty simple. And I do suggest adding a door here as quick as possible. Okay. Jumping up. Alright, so you're gonna want to place floor frames here, and the reason being is it's just gonna help with the gap so nothing really goes wrong. And then before we place these ramps, make sure to come down here, and I apologize about doing this late. Make sure before you place these walls, you place these ramps. You'll be able to replace all the walls afterwards, but it'll help with the mobility of your open core. If you forget to place them, you can actually technically fit more boxes in there at the bottom, but they're just harder to reach. So jumping over here, like so, and then you'll have to replace this jump up, and you can do so like this. Nice, easy. Alrighty, and then I don't add ramps to this top loot room, but what we'll do here is we'll place a floor, and through the wall you can actually place a triangle, as you see I did there, and come back like that. We'll do this on both sides, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sheet metal the squares, as these are going to be our technical main loot rooms. So continuing on like this, like this, and then I'm going to sheet metal the one side. And the reason I'm only sheet metal one side is, if they're hitting here, they have to splash so much more, it doesn't matter. It's just to stop it from an outside hit, and it's just really good, advantageous way to do it. Also, it just looks nice and saves a little bit on cost. Alright, building this up. If it allows me. There we go. And these jump ups follow each other on these little bedroom chutes / rotation. And boom. Cap. Now capping off our top like this. I suggest sheet metaling this right away, not armor, but sheet metaling this up right away, followed by all this kind of stuff in this area. And then jumping into our open court, you'll see actually these walls aren't upgraded. Make sure to upgrade these walls, as they're pretty darn important. Like so. Okay, and these are also nice, just to give yourself a nice, easy, full sheet open core. Alright, jumping back to the roof, you're going to take ramps. You're going to stand to the side right where I am. And if the server doesn't go down, it usually is tricky to place these, by the way. So you gotta jump, yeah, so you jump around, mess with them a little bit, and they'll work. And boom. And you'll see some of the symmetry messes up, and we'll have to do a little replacing. But boom, that should be nice now. So as you can see, we get our ramp peaks. There ain't much now, because we really can't use them, because well, there's no boxes, nothing down there. But that's okay, we'll fix that in just a moment. So, coming up over to here, above our little thing, we're not gonna place full walls. You don't wanna do this, because we're gonna be using the top part of this for roof peaks. So you place half walls. This is where our turret will go, little turret pod basically. And we're gonna do this on both sides. And as you can see, that's how she's looking. Ready? Continue this little, we're actually gonna just window this one off, like so. Window here, door here. This will actually be a little battery room. They're off to the sides just so they won't be in too much danger. And we will finally add a little jump up there, just in case you want to put some stuff above, and we'll be fine. Alright. Now we want to place this window on the top part like this. And it doesn't really matter which way it's facing, but I tend to like it going like this. Doesn't need to be sheet metal. Apologies about that. And we're going to wall this in like so. Which way do we got this? Rotate like so. We're in a window right here, followed by some door frames like so. And then sealing off this entire portion and symmetry bugged, so we're gonna make sure that that's itself. Awesome. So coming out from here, you'll see that now we have these will be from the wide gaps up. This will just be your normal way out. We have our roof peaks, obviously right now they're kind of acting as peaks into our little bedroom floor, but to fix this you're just gonna place your embrasures like so. And now, well, the angle is pretty lackluster. No one's really gonna use that, and when we put a frame here, a triangle frame, it'll get even better. So at this point we're gonna make our jump up to a roof over here like so. So right here we're gonna wall this in, door this in. You can kind of see on these jump ups these doors are just stacked. It's just good use of mobility when they're all in one spot and there's all different sizes with them. So making a jump up here, nice and simple. You obviously change this out for whatever you want, but for now this will be just fine. And then actually preferably what you want to also do is you want to remove that and turn this into a little battery room as well. So we have little battery rooms here, a little off to the side. These are closer. You could also turn these into lockers if you wish. And then you also have these in here. And I suggest sheet metaling this like so, just to be safe. We'll throw a battery in there, why not? Just to show the visualization. And make sure I place it right. There we go. Awesome. And obviously we get 2 of those, so those will be it. Okay. So all these outside top doors will be out to our shooting floor, like so. So at this point we are ready to move on to our wide gaps for the majority of the part. The only last thing you can really do right now is add single door frames here, but you really can't use them yet because you don't got your wide gaps to use them for. But there we are, nice, easy, and simple. And we'll door these off just to show visualization. Sheet metaling everything on roof right here. This is how it should look. Obviously it looks a little weird here from the outside view because we don't have the doors on yet. However, the main concept and the build is there. You just gotta mess around with it a little bit. Alrighty. So from the side that is our entrance into our core here, we are gonna come like this and we are going to add our wide gaps. We have 4 externals on the space and obviously they're pretty simple. So building 4 squares out, coming back with triangles like so. We can build our wide gaps and they're pretty simple. So they're not huge wide gaps, but they're going to be really nice quality of life and everything overall. So you'll see this is how the footprint will look, and obviously you can mess around with this if you know how to do your wide gaps and stuff. Okay, now from this will be our gatehouse right here. So placing a double door frame here, here, window here, here. These are a gatehouse design I've just been tending to use more. They're a little easier for people to jump in the compound if the height difference is too much on your compound. But if you build on flat terrain, these are just monsters. And then to place your roof triangle, usually what I'll do is I'll place a little jump up right here. I will jump it like that and get up there. Obviously, I'm not gonna spend the time doing it right now because we're not an official server, but you can place a roof triangle and easily replace it from here. Alrighty. Now it is time to place our disconnectable external TC. Obviously, there's many ways to do this, so you can look up different ways to do this if yours doesn't fit in the terrain that you're on right now. And pretty simple. 2 half walls, full wall. Good. No. Oh, never mind. We have a little bug. We're gonna try it off this. So if you ever have issues with your external TC not working because it's too close to the base, let's say you built this beforehand. So like if I didn't build this gatehouse beforehand, I wouldn't have that problem placing the TC there. But since I did, I do. The solution is pretty simple. You just build out from that square instead of going right here. You build out to this side, and usually that minimal amount of distance will fix itself. And then to properly upgrade this, I usually just do 2 garage doors and sheet metal the inner compartment like this, and call it good. Close enough to 8 rockets where people won't mess with it. If you want to add another single door or do windows or whatever, do whatever you want. Have fun with it. Sheet metal in this connection here, like so. There is our disconnectable, and I leave this wood usually. So, confirming that's the same on the other side. Just make sure we don't have any bugs. We're good. We'll come over to this side of our base. Obviously, we haven't done this side yet, so it's kind of needed. So here we are. On this one, we are actually only going to build 3 out. So 2 squares followed by that. A little bit of a weird looking wide gap. So how you're gonna want to do it is here, I'm gonna restart this just to make this a little more explanation. You go 3 squares out, come back with 3 triangles. Square, triangle, square, triangle. Okay? So different kind of wide gap. Just a little bit, but not really. Okay? And now you can place these triangles, because before you can't place these triangles. Now this right here shall be our gatehouse. Boom, boom. Like so. And as you can see, there's a little difference. So you can't place these squares with these triangles here. So you just gotta make sure to, like, usually what I'll do is I leave all my stuff twig like this. And as long as this isn't destroyed, it won't, you know, disconnect itself. But I'll upgrade 1 to stone eventually, and you'll be fine. Alrighty. Continuing on with the build. Same gatehouse design, so I'm gonna fly through it pretty quickly. Placing our roof triangle. Awesome. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna just build this one off the side just to make sure it has enough space and distance already. Not the right thing. Alright, placing our TC in here and our 2 garage doors. Sheet metal, making sure it'll sheet metal the connection just to give it a little more space. And coming back like so. So at this point, you can also notice that our entire footprint around the base is secure, it's good, it's ready. So now this is what your base is going to look like. So as you can see, the reason this is sheet metal, because if they splash here, it's just to mess with all that, just to make it a little harder to raid, and also incentivize them, because you want them to blow through this stone. They blow through that stone, the angles from core and shooting floor and all that, 10 times better. You're going to want it. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these foundations here that are necessary and show you how I upgrade my shooting floor. So I leave these in-between ones, like here on this side, stone, and the insides and outsides metal, like so. And obviously we're building this up to a proper height, like so. And coming over here, we are going to make a jump up. So obviously you won't be flying around doing this, but you'll come up from the top up here and you'll just simply grab a roof triangle and place it like this. If you do have embrasures beforehand, it makes it way easier to place them right now. Placing these embrasures instead is a very good idea. They're better for this little peak. And obviously standing above, I fell over. Like so, and this will give you good angles. Alrighty. Continuing on with this little trends. We are good on this regard. And now these, this square and this triangle will actually be off in main. You can obviously change this around if you don't lag, if you don't like the little concept, but this is how I do it, like so. Alrighty. And obviously we can add some embrasures. like so. And now you see where the from the shooting floor you have tons of ways, because you have 4 ways out from the this is our bedroom floor basically. You got easy access to get up here by just running out either one of the sides and just going for it. It's pretty simple. And then you got the rotation all the way from compound from this side. That's pretty much undisturbed, which is very nice as well. I forgot to add in the middle, you want a window here and 2 frames on each side like this, just to partition the entire thing off. And I'll usually just glass window that. I won't even put an embrasure on it. Make it nice and simple. Ready? And then same with this one. However, I do usually add an embrasure in that one. And then this. And then you can leave this as a battery room, I said before, or you can just turn this into more vision. Same thing, it's not gonna hurt anyone. Okay. And obviously now you see that this is half the wide gap done. It's obviously done on both sides already, because we're using symmetry. I'll show you what it looks like kind of from the top, just so you can get an overhead view. Okay. Jumping back down, building up 3 as so. Then upgrade the necessary foundations and the necessary tiles, which are going to be the middle one and the outsides, because I forgot to do them initially. That's okay. Now you're going to actually place a window here. It's not going to do you any good, so you could technically put a wall or really a frame or anything. I just don't like it being soft-sidable, so I'll use a window, and if possible, I'll put a glass window on there and an embrasure just for looks if you really care. Usually just like that, because it's just for looks at this point. Yeah. Upgrading this to metal. This can be soft-sided and kind of abused, so to make sure to put that there. You come from the top, like so. So you come from the top, you place your roof tile like so. And like I said before, same concept. If you can place these embrasures first, like this, it makes it easier. Otherwise, you gotta kind of go from below, and it's a little annoying. So at this point, we place these off the main, actually, these squares, and then we wall this entire thing in. Alright, just gonna add our embrasures here. Alrighty, because as you can see here now, that's all flush, all nice. See some, yep, good old sanctuary bug, very fun. And we're good on that regard. The shooting floor is looking amazing at this point. If you haven't already, add doors to your gatehouses, windows to your gatehouses. You won't be able to place this glass window from the inside. You have to come to the outside and place it, like so. Just little things like that. And then my personal embrasure that I'll use on these, I'll use these, I'll use the horizontal over the vertical. And then obviously, this is a little turret pod for every side. And we're gonna do this on the other side too. Little that. Boom, boom, boom. And there. You can also add another door frame in here if you want to like garage door to make it even more expensive to get through, to like force them a soft side over here, or, you know, any of that stuff. So it's up to you. It's all personal preference at one point, so you'll be good. And as you can see, Sanctuary doing a little bug. Doesn't even upgrade in half the time. Alrighty. This I usually just do a double door down here, and just to make this technically an expensive area to raid, you want a garage door on one side, just the left side that you're jumping up on. And I'll show you how I do my bedrooms here. They aren't personalized bedrooms entirely. They're just using the rotation as just nice bedrooms. As you can see, it's really easy to jump up here, and it doesn't take up any real space because, well, obviously I can keep jumping up without issue here. And it is also then using this honeycomb pretty effectively in my opinion. Like so. And then I'll usually put a double door swinging out like that. It also covers those gaps, so like before you'll have these gaps. I don't know if you'd like these gaps, you can keep them for peeking like this, but I'll usually use it as rotation to get to the better ones that are these that you can kind of head peek and like peek up and down like so. So nice. And I'll open this one as well. Alrighty, coming back to the roof, we're going to cap off the top part of our wide gaps like such. And now we're going to add our roof tiles. You can obviously change up this roof however you want. I'm doing it very simply. I'm putting roof tiles all the way around on the outside edge, just to give me angles to peek as wide and as far as possible. So as you see, it's super basic and super easy. You can obviously change this for like ramp peaks, just windows straight on top of them, anything you want and that you like. Something to note as well, these you actually can't get through, but some people I know like to put single doors here This is personal preference. If you want to put single doors here, it's great. It works. It just messes with the rotation a little bit, I think. So do it if you wish. I'm not going to be doing it here, just to also save on the metal frag cost, I'll be honest. Alrighty. Coming to the next section, we're going to be adding our windmills. So out of sheet metal off this external here. So we're actually doing this off the wide gap, which is kind of uncommon, but be fine. You're going to want to build up one and then add a little jump in the middle. So this is going to be a turret pod right here. Obviously you can seal this off with like, what is it? Like a garage door or anything. You could do that way just in case stuff is happening, you know. It's always good to do that kind of thing, but you're going to build your windmill 3 high off the top, no higher. And if I had it in my inventory, you will be able to place it here. And as you can see, those are the 2 initial windmills. However, if you want another good spot here, you're going to want to build off of these triangles, 3 high. And coming from the back side, it makes it easier, like such. Those are the main 4 windmills. It still gives you enough room to fly a scrapping in between if you're an accurate pilot, and more than enough room for your maze to come in between here, like such. Just a nice, good way to do it. Alrighty, let's jump back down to the open core because we've built the entire base. Now it's time to show some of the deployable placement as just some last minute things. So, jumping all the way down here. Obviously, like I said, this is a drop box area. You can either ramp this or not ramp this, and it'll be fine. So put boxes there if you wish. There's actually 2 ways to do the boxes in this open core. I'm going to be showing you what I think is the better way. So before we go along with this, I'm going to sheet metal all this stuff just to keep it kind of nice and, you know, easy. You can actually reach this always from below, these little tiles like this. And then I suggest obviously upgrading this entire bottom core, as it's usually good. And we'll actually upgrade this into its final form real quick just to show it off. Like so. And these actually here, I gotta toggle symmetry off for a second. So it's obviously symmetrying right now, but like so, like so. That's it. Efficiently upgraded. As long as you place a window on this when you're not using it, it acts as honeycomb, you'll be fine. It's just more of to deter raiders. And then same with this side. Sheet metaling that. Alright. Toggling symmetry back on and floating back to the open core. I'm going to show you box placement. So box placement is pretty simple. With these large boxes, you want to place them decently far up, just so they're super easy to access. And then with these other ones on the next level, you want to place them as far back towards the middle as possible. So use that little center guideline if it's sheet metal already. Then jumping up a level, you're going to have access to place more boxes. Now, you could do small boxes, barbecues, and all that in here. However, the other option is pretty simple. You can simply place another large box like this. Now, you see it's getting a little crazy. So, this is already 5 boxes down here. If you place a box here, you can place an 8th. The only issue with this is the worst way to do it. If you want really good mobility and really easy access, this isn't the way to do it. But if you want the most storage, this is going to be the way to do it. So otherwise, placing a small box here. Yep, you're not going to get as much space, obviously. A small box here. And then I usually place a triangle to make this easier. And small boxes like this. So obviously, 2 ways to do that. One, I think this is way easier to grab all the boxes, obviously. Super easy. The other way, more space, however, little harder to grab those boxes. I'm also going to upgrade this little area right now. So, obviously I'm not going to show off both because you can kind of see it here. It's pretty self-explanatory. What you'll want to do is on this wall right here, I'll toggle symmetry off for this, whichever wall you feel like, because we're baiting them in essence to raid from these stone. Yeah, this is the bait. You want them to raid from one of the stone areas. This stone is tons of garage doors and it's more expensive than this. You hope that they hit this because it looks flatter, it looks easier, less resistance to a builder, I think. You're gonna want to place your tier 3 on that side. Simple reason, if you can stop them from coming from this bottom half, you only have to worry about one spot of them jumping in. It makes it much more difficult. They'll literally have to rocket through your tier 3. The other side, you can either place a repair bench or a research table, whatever you want. I usually put a research bench or a repair table, as you know, who doesn't like to skin all their items. Alrighty, So this is the open core done. Obviously didn't place the boxes there, but for the most part you get it. Spam your bags in the middle, anywhere you want, nice and easy. Over here, this is going to turn into a bedroom. If you want to know how to place the beds and all that super easily, you can fit a bed, or a locker rather, sorry, a bed like so, and then a large box shall fit like that. You can actually fit 2 large boxes, but like I said, personal preference on all these things. And this I always like to turn into a garage door, like so. And then also a good idea is always to window these off. You can obviously put embrasures on these. I usually just put windows, as it doesn't really matter too much. Ready? Coming back down, as you can see here, we haven't really added many deployables for that matter, so the TC would be really cheap at this point because we haven't added anything, so you can't really get mad at it. But adding obviously your doors here, you only need 2 doors to technically make this effective, like so. Just like that. That's all you technically need. Come from the side, obviously we already did that. And then I have to come over here, and since I don't have symmetry on, it's not gonna be the same. But coming through here, like so. Boom. Gonna remove this. And yeah. I will also teach you real quick how to place these vending machines. So using a sheet metal foundation, it makes it a lot easier. So stone, it doesn't have this middle line, this median. Right here, you see this line that my crosshair is on. Yep, just like that. So upgrading this to sheet metal beforehand, placing one almost as far as the right as you can get. Like you want this thing like over that little median line down to your left. Placing it like so, coming with the next one. Same concept, shove it into the right as far as you can go. Just so you, no matter what, this garage door can replace, like so. Make sure to turn off broadcasting to not look conspicuous. This is a good space to flex rockets, and before you go offline, make sure to armored window this off, just to add that extra low level of protection. And another thing to note that is very important, if you guys want to get the maximum amount of boxes in these upper or these lower loot rooms, I'm going to teach you how to do that real quick. So coming to this side, you're going to want to place a box on the left, a box on the right, box in the middle, another box in the middle. So you can only do this while it's sheet metal, by the way. You cannot place this stuff like these middle boxes when it's stone. It has to be sheet metal. Make sure to place your frame beforehand, like so, and place your garage door. So if you don't do this beforehand, obviously I can't do it. So the maximum way to do it is if you have to place that frame beforehand. Now you just place your little boxes, nice and easy. Make this jump up easier. And same concept. Come in as far to the left as possible, as far to the right as possible. Get a mid box. If you want to put more boxes in here, I don't actually suggest putting this top one like this. So just doing one like this and like this. I wouldn't go any more than this because these top ones are already a little annoying to reach. So either you just leave it like that or do whatever you have, whatever you want. It's all personal preference, like I said before. If you're okay with a little bit of annoyance, this is good enough. And then this is a good spot for your tier 2. And I usually put my core 3 sleeping bags here. So obviously everything's upgraded into its final form at this point. I'm actually going to add a garage doors here. If you have an armored door, this is a great spot for it, by the way. And obviously I think everyone knows how to fill in a loot room like this with 4 boxes. So coming back up in through here, you can see that everything for the most part is going to be done. The last thing to place is now our compound. You can do this at any stage, however I'm just choosing to do it last as it's a nice ending part. So pretty simple. It's going to be a 4-wall compound, by the way. So placing it out, you just got to figure out where your walls are going to line up. So look down to your left and find like usually a flower or something that'll line up like that. And then it doesn't have to be perfect. I usually like to make my compounds overlap just a little bit, as it doesn't really matter. And as you can see here, the more you grab this out like this, the better it'll look. So like if I jump in with a compound and make the wall a little bit out, just for future reference, and I'll put my wall like this, and then this one. And as obviously you can tell, it takes some experimenting to find the best angle and all that to do. Boom. I see that this time I didn't even have an angle, and it's like kind of working. Yep. But you just gotta get a decent compound. You can fit 2 larges here. It doesn't obviously look the best, but it's a compound. It's gonna work for you. It's gonna work for anyone. And here, I'm gonna replace this once more. See, that side actually looks even better because it's got the nice curvature. Alright, at this point, there is nothing else to do in the base. I expect everyone to know how to place compounds. Place your metal barricades on top. That's the one actually last thing. I apologize. And to do that on these, you just place 2 triangles. Barricade, barricade. You're done. Pretty good overwatch by this. This will mess with people if they're trying to come up here. Very nice. At this point, there's nothing else to do on the base. As you can see here, we got our externals down, we got our gatehouse, we got our compound, we got everything technically done. So, if you did enjoy the video, please join the Discord, ask me any questions you have about building. I do not mind answering them. It doesn't even have to be about this base, it could be about any base you've ever lived in. If you need help with it, if you want to know how to add bunkers possibly to it, I don't mind helping and answering those questions. Furthermore, if you haven't already, join the Discord just for that giveaway that's going on. It was our 1K subs giveaway, and it's going to be ending soon, so make sure you get in on that as soon as possible. Without further ado, thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate you all. This means more than you can imagine. Thank you guys.